Today, Friday the 9th of May 2025, marks the beginning of what may be the final chapter in one of South Africa's most disturbing child trafficking and kidnapping trials, the case of 6-year-old Joshlin Smith, who vanished from her home in Deersville, Saldanha Bay over a year ago. And while the child is still missing, today's brief but loaded court appearance set the wheels in motion for how justice will ultimately be measured. This is not yet sentencing day. That comes later, but what happened in court today matters deeply because Judge Nathan Erasmus outlined exactly what steps will be taken over the next 3 weeks as the court prepares to decide the fate of the 3 people found guilty of stealing a child's life. Let's break it down. Before we continue, this is just to inform new viewers. We are approaching the end of our Joshlin Smith trial breakdowns, and while it's a chapter that's taken an emotional toll on South Africans, it's been nothing short of an eye-opening journey. So I personally want to send a thank you to every subscriber who liked, commented, and shared our videos. Once the sentence has been delivered, we will break that down and collate the entire series into an episode of our true crime podcast, Crime Central South Africa, which premieres soon. This podcast will delve deep into the stories that shape the landscape of South African true crime. We will also be launching Season 2 of Unsolved Murders SA, a podcast series that focuses on unresolved cases in South Africa, particularly those that have gone cold over the years. If you're a fan of true crime, then do yourself a favor and subscribe to our channel, turn on post notifications, and help us on our road to 10,000 subscribers. Okay, let's get back to today's breakdown. Today's court appearance took place not in Deersville, where the trial was previously heard in a makeshift courtroom, but back at the Western Cape High Court in Cape Town. This was what's known as a housekeeping appearance, a chance to clarify the next moves and lay down a roadmap toward the final sentencing date. The next appearance will be on Friday, the 23rd of May 2025. That day is purely administrative. The court will meet again, but not to testify. No arguments, no sentencing. The only task will be to prepare for the transfer of the court proceedings back to Saldanha Bay, where the community has been watching this case unfold since the beginning. This move, decided before the trial started, is a symbolic and powerful decision because the people of Saldanha were deeply shaken by Joshlin's disappearance. The courtroom there, set up in the White City Multipurpose Center, became a place where truth was exposed and betrayal was laid bare. On Tuesday, the 27th of May, and Wednesday, the 28th of May, the court will hear final evidence before deciding on sentencing. Let's explain what this means. The state will lead victim impact statements. These are powerful pieces of testimony, usually delivered by people who loved or cared for the victim, family, guardians, or community members, to explain the pain and damage caused by the crime. But in this case, things are different. Joshlin Smith is still missing. And so far, names like her biological father, her great-grandmother, her foster mother, Natasha Andrews, are not listed as victim impact witnesses. Why? We don't know yet. Maybe they'll be added later. Maybe the state is keeping that evidence under wraps. But what we do know is that social workers and human trafficking experts will testify. Why experts, you might ask? Because this crime didn't just hurt one family. It devastated an entire community and highlighted how trafficking can operate under everyone's nose. These experts will explain how trafficking destroys lives, even when the victim, like Joshlin, is never found. The judge also gave instructions to the defense lawyers representing Kelly Smith, Jacquen Appollis, and Steveno van Rhyn. They've been told to prepare reports about the personal circumstances of the accused. This is called mitigation, a legal process where the court hears about the background of the convicted people to see whether there's anything that might count in their favor when it comes to sentencing. What kind of things, you might ask? Their upbringing, their education, mental health issues, family background, history of abuse, maybe even remorse, if any of it exists. The judge urged the defense and the accused to be honest and provide as much information as possible, because once sentencing comes, there's no turning back. Social worker reports normally take 6 weeks to prepare, but the judge made it clear there's no time for that. He asked for these reports to be expedited, fast-tracked, so the court can move forward with unnecessary delay. Draft letters have already been written by the court. The defense has been invited to add any extra information they feel should be included in those letters. For now, all 3 convicted, Kelly, Jacquen, and Steveno, will be detained at Paulsmoor Prison. That's until the 23rd of May, when the transfer back to Saldanha Bay will take place. Before the evidence days on the 27th and 28th of May, the accused will be relocated again, this time to Malmesbury and Langebaan Correctional Centers. These are closer to Saldanha, making it easier to get them to and from court. So mark this date, the 29th of May 2025. That is when Judge Nathan Erasmus will hand down his final sentence. That is the day we'll learn whether the court will impose life imprisonment, the maximum penalty for trafficking and kidnapping, especially involving a child. Remember, both crimes are viewed as among the most serious under South African law, and when the victim is a child, the consequences are often even more severe. One final moment today. Joshlin Smith indicated that she wanted to raise something with the court. Her lawyer told the judge that it was a matter that would be addressed outside the courtroom. No further details were shared, and for now we will wait to hear if anything will come from that request. So here's what we know. On the 23rd of May, a transfer appearance will take place in Cape Town. On the 27th and 28th of May, final evidence, social workers, experts, and possibly more will be heard in Saldanha Bay. On the 29th of May, sentencing will take place. This is the end game. The story of Joshlin Smith may not have answers about where she is, but the people found guilty of taking her away will soon face the full weight of the law. Stay with us as we bring you every detail. The story is not over. This brings us to the end of our breakdown. If you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. While we've reached the end of the Joshlin Smith trial breakdowns, we've more content planned, more cases to unpack, and true crime stories to dive into. So believe me when I tell you, subscribing to our channel and turning on those post notifications is absolutely necessary. Also, visit our news website, swisherpost.co.za, for the best explainers on every important event happening around you. No agenda, just the story.